Good morning, students, and welcome to Digital Classroom. Today we will begin with Standard 8 subject History and Civics, and the first lesson of civics, that is Introduction
in
to
our
the
parliamentary
They
system.
are the first Before we begin, what is a parliamentary system of government? In India, we have Prime Minister, but why there is no Prime Minister in United States of America? What is the difference between a parliamentary and
Branches of
presidential
government
system
and
of
their
government?
functions.
So all
Now,
these
in
questions
India,
which arise
there are
in our
three
mind,
branches of government.
today we
The
will
first
find
one
the answers for these questions, and they are quite interesting. Legislature.
So let us
To
begin.
make laws, who makes the law? That branch is known as legislature. The second one is executive, who implements these laws. And third one is the judiciary, who provides justice. So all these three branches
In this,
with the
we are going to
each
see
other.
there are two
And
types
with the
of government
discussion with
system.
each other. The first one is the parliamentary system, and the second
for
one
the
is the
welfare of our
presidential country. And that is
Now,
what these are the three
system
pillars
do
of
we
our
follow
government. This is
government?
the question which arises in our mind. So, we follow parliamentary system of government. Now, why do we follow parliamentary system of government? The first important thing is the contribution of England. Now, why for our parliamentary system, what is the contribution of England? Again, this question arises in our mind. So, because we should not forget that the Britishers have ruled our country for 150 years. So that impact, what they have created for so many years, that still we are following with some major and minor changes. And that is the reason the parliamentary system of government we follow. Second is, we are going to see the characteristics of parliamentary system in India. What are the characteristics? Why do we follow? What is so important and the reason we follow this system? In this, we are going to see responsible system of government. The government is responsible for the welfare of their people. No confidence motion. Again, the common people, we can say the Janta is whole and soul. The leader, we can say, they have all rights to say no confidence motion against any of the executive appointed by we people. Parliament in Supreme. First one, we are going to see all this contribution and the reason why India adopted the parliamentary system of government, which developed preliminary in England, and the reason the Britishers ruled us, and so we followed this system. The English constitution is an unwritten constitution, whereas our Indian constitution is parliamentary constitution. This is very important. Where governance is carried out in accordance with tradition, custom, and this system as our British Parliament has evolved over a period of time. Is it has been evolved. There are many changes. The legislature of central government is known as the parliamentary system. Each of government having its root in the parliament is thus considered as a constitution is composed of president, Lok Sabha, and India has adopted as everybody knows the three pillars of Indian parliament is the president, Lok Sabha,
they carry
and
out
Rajya
their
Sabha.
functions in a different
Next is members of Lok
only the
Sabha
route we
are
have taken
elected,
from
as we know, directly
England,
by
or
the
we can say we have taken it
there
from
is a fixed
Britishers.
number
But
depending upon
whatever
every 5
differences
years,
according to the situation, according to the people, according to the occupation of the
depending
Indians,
upon the
constitution had
the
made
number of
many
people are
changes in
fixed. Election of Lok Sabha held
constitutional
at the regular
vote. So
interval,
this
that
is what
after
we
every
have taken
5
just a
years.
route.
The
We have taken
candidates are
just a
directly
skeleton,
elected by the
and
people.
then a complete
The
framework
majority
of our
party forms
constitution
the
is done,
government. Everybody knows
taking
this.
into consideration
Sometimes when no party gets
each
the
and
clear
every
majority,
situation,
few
each and
parties they
every
come
fact,
into together
and each and every
they form a
necessity of the
coalition
India.
government, as
This
we
is
have
what
Maha Agadi
is known
this
as
time.
parliamentary
So
system of
in Maharashtra, there was no one party who had the majority vote. So three parties they came together and they formed the government. The leaders of majority party becomes the prime minister. Everybody knows that when BJP came 10 years back, so Narendra Modi was elected as the prime minister. He selects candidates to form council of minister. Now it is in the hands of the prime minister that whichever members he wants from whichever we can say elected members of Lok Sabha, he can choose any of the members for from his we can say political party, and he can give them as and when the ministry he can handle. The Council of Ministers has to perform dual functions of implementing the laws and to fulfill responsibilities of the legislature. Like these ministers who are elected by the Prime Minister, they are given certain ministries, like health ministry is given, defense is given, home is given, n number of ministries are there, welfare committee, HRD, education minister, finance minister. So these ministries are given to them, and they are by certain rules and regulations, laws also, and they are responsible for that complete ministry. They are answerable to the Prime Minister, whereas the Prime Minister can question or ask any of the doubts to this minister. So he is responsible for that particular thing, whatever is given to him. That is known as responsibility of the legislature. Now we will see the responsible why we have adopted this. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers is responsible to the legislature for all their actions and policies. This is the most important thing. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers is responsible to the legislature, means whatever the given work is given to these people for all their actions and policies, whatever they implement. The Council of Ministers has to function taking the legislature into confidence. The legislature is who makes the laws. The ministers has to be in contact with the legislatures because they should work in a parallel way. It is not that one is taking decision, another is again saying the decision whatever you have taken is wrong or right. So they are responsible. They go hand in hand. The decision taken by any ministry or department is considered as a decision of the entire Council of Ministers. So any ministry, the finance ministries, if they take a decision, first they discuss and then only the policies are implemented. So once the ministry is giving any of the decision, it is the decision of the entire Council of Ministers. The functions of the Council of Ministers is based on the principles of collective responsibility. All are responsible for the decision whatever is taken. Then we have no confidence motion. This is very important, no confidence motion. Now why it is so important? In the parliamentary system, the executive is dependent on the confidence of the legislature. If the legislature who makes the law is not confident about the parliamentary system, the executives, then if the legislature feels that the executive does not work in according to his wishes, so he can pass the no confidence motion against the executive. No confidence यानी ये काम नहीं कर रहे अच्छे, I don't like this, or he can pass this policy that the particular executive is not working according to the rules and regulations or the laws which are assigned to him. If the Lok Sabha passes no confidence motion against the executive, it has to resign. The executive has to resign from that post. Thus, no confidence motion is an effective tool of controlling the executive. So, executive, each and every work which is done by an executive, as the executive is appointed by the people in the Lok Sabha. So, these executives has to follow the rules and regulations which are given by the legislature. Whatever policies they implement, they has to be taken into consideration. The legislature has to be taken into consideration for that, and they has to implement them. And if they are not following, if they are not working according to the
panel given by the legislature, then legislature has 100% authority to pass no confidence motion in the parliament. And when no confidence motion is passed by the Lok Sabha, then that executive has to resign. Next important is the Parliament in Supreme. Now what is this Parliament in Supreme? In parliamentary form, the legislature is supreme. As you can see,
So Parliament in Supreme. In parliamentary form, the legislature is supreme. Now why legislature is supreme, students?
why has India
Because
adopted the
the
parliament?
legislature is very
What is the
important because
reason
he makes
for
the laws.
What does the
adopted.
executive
The
do?
development of parliamentary
He implements
institution
them.
and
Judiciary
judiciary already
is
started
to provide
during British
justice.
ruling.
So,
In the parliamentary
the British
system or the
rulers
branches
govern
of
India
government,
in accordance
these
to
three
the
things are
system
very
of
important.
the
Parliamentary system. In
Indians
parliamentary
were
form,
familiar with
the
this
legislature
system.
is
That
supreme
is the
as we
reason
know. The
Parliament
Constituent Assembly
decides
adopted
upon
the
the
system
issue
after
of
a
public
thorough
welfare.
discussion. They
When
had
there is a parliament,
discussed that they discuss
should we
or they
follow this
decide
type
what
of
are the
policy?
issues, what are the
Because
problems
we are democratic
of public and
We,
what steps
for
should be
the people,
taken by
for the
their
people,
welfare.
and so all these discussions are
Yes or no?
done. So
In
these are
parliament.
what we are.
Thus,
The few
being
changes
a
were
house
made
of
in the parliamentary
representatives
system
of
to
people
suit the
and
Indian
expresses
situation.
sovereign
We have
authorities
not
of the people.
100%
It is called
adopted
a
the
Supreme
policy
Court.
or 100%
Why
we have
parliament?
not followed
Because
the
not
system,
only the
parliamentary
elected
system of
members
British,
but
also the
but
opposition
according to
this
the
situation,
situation,
according to the
and
again
then
and again
any
I'm
of
telling
the
the need
or
of
any of
people,
the
issues or we can say
constitution
new
is
policies
free.
before they are
The
implemented.
second important
They
thing
are
is
discussed.
and so parliament is supreme.
Importance
There the
given to
decisions are
discussions and
made.
deliberations. This is very
So
important.
these are very
Here
important
no one
steps
leader
why,
is there he
we
will
can
take
say,
the policy, he will frame the
these are
policy,
the
he will
different
implement the policy, he will
criteria
make the
of
rule, he will
parliamentary system
implement
of
the
government.
so whatever
The first
rules,
one
whatever
was
policies,
from where
whatever
did we adopted
implementations,
the
whatever
parliamentary system of government.
changes in
So the
rules or
important
laws
thing
are
is from
coming up,
the contribution.
they
of
are
but in this
they
system,
are
we have not
taken into
completely
consideration
adopted.
with
The
lot of
India has not
discussions and
completely
deliberations.
adopted
So
the
discussions
parliamentary
on
system
questions
from
related
England,
to public
but they
welfare
have made
are
certain
taken
difference
only after
according
the
to
discussion in
the
parliament. They
requirement
cannot
of the
just
Indians.
implement them. In this,
Now,
the members
the
of
most
opposition
important
party
in the beginning
also
we
take
saw
part.
the
Because
parliamentary
the
system
loopholes
and
they can find
presidential
out
system.
ki whether
Now,
these
parliamentary
policies
system
are
is followed in England as well
one
as in
party
India.
frames the
Presidential
rule
system
or
is
frames the
followed
policy.
in
But the loopholes
in
only
USA,
the
that
opposition
is
operator
United
can
States of
tell you. So
America.
opposition play
Now,
a
what
very
are the
vital role in
characteristics
this
of
discussion.
presidential system of
Opposition
government?
parties
So that we are going to
point
see.
out the
The
shortcomings in the
president is the executive and elected directly by the people. As we have seen the Trump, yes or no?